and gentlemen. Welcome to Stardom Review. I am your co-host Andre C. Right over here, it's the Melball. Melball, how you doing?
I am doing great, Andre. It's Monday when we're filming here, and it was a big day for both of us. I got up early. I went to the gym really early. There were 5 people in there, Andre. I have never seen it so dead. It was phenomenal. Great for using the big boy machines. I got another tattoo. I got to spend the day with my bestie. But man, tell them what you got to do
Wait,
today.
wait, you didn't hang out with me today.
The other bestie.
Oh, the other one. Okay.
There's layers.
I started with a new trainer today. A local professional wrestler, Rich King, is my new trainer. Is my new trainer now. So I'm gonna get all jacked and in shape. So at least that's my goal is to get into my older shirts that are too small for me. That is my goal. That's my main goal. So,
Hey, if anyone can get you there, it can be Rich King and that glorious intro music.
yes, very much so. Me and you, me and Mel, we had a big weekend this weekend.
We did.
We had the Edmonton Comic Expo this weekend where we actually did a panel on Japanese professional wrestling, intro to Japanese wrestling. Yeah, so if any of you came out and you're new to us and you joined us here, thank you very much for joining us here. And to all those who have joined us for all the ride all along, thank you so very much for joining us for this ride all along.
Thanks for sticking around with us, crazy kids.
We very much appreciate Bobby Petito, Joe Demetrius Frank, and all the rest of you guys out there. I'm just going off the last two guys I was responding to comments on, but yeah, I love hearing from all of you guys. So thank you so very very much. And if you want to talk to us, you can leave a comment down below. We really appreciate it. We love talking to you. Don't forget also to like the video, subscribe to the channel, whether it's on Andre Melville Wrestling Talk or it's on Backbreaker Video. Subscribe to the channel. We'd appreciate it on either one. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're alerted every time we drop a new video. Stardom, New Japan, or coming back soon, Chop Talk.
Chop dog. Ding dong.
Hello. Yeah, we'll be coming out with a Chop Talk in the next couple of weeks. We'll be attending the LPW Speedball Strikes first show on September 29th. Yeah, we're putting it on the 29th. So we're gonna have a little bit of play to our New Japan roots right there with Mr. Speedball Mike Bailey. I'm super excited, and then that guy's heading right back over to Japan a couple weeks later to go win that IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship.
And if I'm not mistaken, Veda Scott is also going to be accompanying him. She was amazing commentary on some of those NJPW Strong shows. Look forward to meeting her as well.
And to the future people, watch that LPW show from the 29th, Three Ball Strikes First, because Veda Scott will be joining Mr. Big Bad Boris on commentary, so you can hear the dulcet tones of Miss Veda Scott.
Yes. Excited.
But we are here to talk some Stardom, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to get into it. We're going to talk to Stardom 5-star Grand Prix show from September 9th. We're going to get into it. Oh, boy. Well, before we get into the first match, we're going to talk about the pre-show stuff what happened earlier. I'm going to pull it up. So a lady came out, and I had no idea who this was. And she introduced herself. Again,
Azusa.
She introduced herself. Hello, Stardom fans. My name is Azusa Inaba from JTO. So, Tomoaka Inaba's little sister.
Yep.
I'm here today because I have something to say. I literally took screenshots of everything she said, so I have it word for word. Is Rena here? Please come to the ring if you are. So Rena makes her way out. Inaba says, Rena, nice to meet you. I came to see you today to challenge you. And she hands her an envelope. I guess it's an official challenge.
There was something written on it. Yeah, I think
so.
I
guess it must be like an official challenge certificate or something. I don't know.
Fancy.
At the last New Blood show, you said you wanted to fight wrestlers from other organizations besides just Stardom. Didn't you? Hearing those words made me come here today. I think that Rena is the youngest and brightest among those who have won the future belt so far. But I am 15 years old, and I debuted 6 months ago. I am younger than Rena, and I think I'd look better with the future belt, don't you? Shot across the bow. My sister Tamaka Inaba couldn't win that belt, but I am going to win it. So please accept my challenge. Rena takes the mic or gets a mic. Says, wait. You can say all this shit after you win the match, not before. I was like, yeah, there's a right point there. She goes,
Fair, fair.
she goes, 15 years old. You're just a fucking kid, you idiot. And I laugh because this girl is 16 years old. And Rena goes, Rena's 16. I'm like a big sister. You want to challenge me? I don't mind, but you're young. Girl, you won this. You started in this company when you were like 14. What the hell? Well, there's a lot I could say, but I'm 16 and you're 15. Are you worthy of the future belt? And then I'll give you credit for having the guts to come to the Stardom ring by yourself. Let's do it at the next New Blood. And then Inaba gets her mic says, "Okay, big sister, Osu." I don't know what Osu means, but just says Osu. And then Rena says, "Everyone have fun watching today's Corkin show."
Everybody dance. Yay! Yeah, it was nice to see that little kind of challenge at the beginning there.
Mhm.
I also at first didn't know who that was, and when she introduced herself, I was like, "Oh, okay, I see the little horn thing." Yeah,
It's little
little,
Inaba.
yeah, it's a little Naba. Hey, but those girls kick hard.
Hmm.
I think Green is maybe underestimating the power between but
Oh, I'm not saying small, like little, but in stature small. I mean little as she's a younger sister. That's the only
Mhm.
reason I'm
I
saying
know,
little
but like
Inaba. Okay.
maybe in general,
Yeah.
Marina is maybe underestimating the power of Inaba
It's
going into this
possible.
match. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm excited to see that.
It's very possible. It is very
Hmm.
possible. We get into the main card though. We started off with a tag team match. It is Lady C and Hina from Queen's Quest taking on Hanako and Miyu Amasaki. C and Hanako face off early, fighting back and forth. He's trying to gain the advantage using their size. Hanako gets the forearms, but Lady C gets the leg sweep and then jumping knee drop. Dual drop kick by Queen's Quest. Hina applies the camel clutch, and Lady C gets she gets the camel clutch onto Hina, and then Lady C gets a cobra twist onto Hanako. Hanako fights back, and she gets a slam, tags Miyu in, who gets the flat line. Or sorry, I think it was the other end. Sorry. Um, Hina had the camel clutch on Hanako, and whatever it was, it was like that. They each had a submission. My notes aren't the greatest. Hanako fights back with a slam and tags Miyu, who gets a flatliner, then a drop kick for two, then gets a layback crossface for two. It was, I really had to figure out. I'm like, oh, that's just a crossface, but she's laying on her back. I realized what it was. I'm like, what submission is that? But then I realized, oh, you got a triangle. Oh, that makes sense. Um, Hina with some monkey flips on me, or like it was like a rollback judo toss. It looked like almost like a
Mm.
monkey flip. I think it was monkey flip ish. Um, on Miyu, then hits a backbreaker across the knee for two. Um, Hana, Hanak, as I wrote Hanek, forgot the O. Hanako attacks uh, Hina, and Mio gets the splash in the corner, and then the pendulum DDT for two. Hina fights back with judo sweeps for two. Then the STO leg sweep combo, STO Russian leg sweep combo from Queen's Quest. And then Hina hits a pump handle Uranagi, but the pin is broken up. Hanako hits a big boot to Hina, and Miyu gets the Amano Hashidate pin, and she gets the win.
That was a mouthful.
It's a long ass word. Amano Hashidate. Is that better?
Sounds cool. Sounds
So
cool.
Mina and Hanako picking up the surprising victory. Miyu, sorry, and
I was
Hanako
gonna say what?
I'm sorry. I didn't get no Mina on this show, so like I only got her as a second. But yeah, that's a real surprise to me seeing
Mhm.
Hanako and Miyu win this match.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely I was probably thinking the same thing you were, that Hanako was going to be the fall in this one. It was just a matter of, is it Lady C, is it Hina? I was honestly expecting Lady C to
Hmm.
pick up the win in this one. Super interesting that it was Miyu who pinned Hina also. Very odd kind of pairing also. We've seen this like mismatching of teams and stuff like that, but to see the team members start going up against each other, ooh, a little scary.
Hmm.
I felt that Hanako and Lady C worked very, very well together in this match. They're just the fluidity between them was just really, really good. I really liked how they kind of worked together there. Um, I'm really finding that Hina kind of really did miss out in that one year that she took off that Rena worked.
Hmm.
Just because like she's catching up, but she does feel a lot less animated, a lot less engaging than Rena. And like we saw Rena open up the show, she's got attitude. I mean profanities, girl. You're 16. Chill. But yeah, I do enjoy the evolution of her gear though, and it does feel like she's starting to come out of her shell a little bit with Lady C. So maybe it's the pairing with Lady C that's gonna help us see the next evolution of Hina.
Yeah, I would like to see it because again, you can obviously tell she is behind her sister by a good bit.
Hmm.
I, but I think Rena, it comes so naturally to the girl.
Hmm.
Um, like she's so good. Like she's just like she.
They're
It looks like,
twins, aren't they?
but no, but again, it doesn't matter if you're twins or not. It depends on how you adapt to certain things, right? Like,
That's true.
I just think Rena is adapting better to wrestling than Hina. Now that Hina's not doing well, I just think that Rena's having an easier time picking it all up and just have
Mhm.
it's flowing so much better. But yeah, and that extra year did very much help.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we're going to move on to the second tag match of the evening. It's Megan Bain and May Sara versus Club Venus's Mariah May and Waka Tsukiyama.
I think I took the most notes for this man.
so, so the entrance was my favorite, with Waka wearing her little tiara coming out on the shoulders of Mariah May. I absolutely loved it. I
So
saw pic-
cute.
I saw pictures of this earlier, like on Twitter and stuff. I think you had sent me the tweet of it, and
I
I just laughed so hard. I'm like, that is awesome. Just wish she was wearing her new gear and not her Walker, like the red gear there. Personally,
Yeah, not
but
my favorite.
no, but again, and then like as they're coming around, then you see May like pointing at Bane, like she wants to go up on her shoulder, so she climbs up the ropes and then gets on Bane's shoulder.
So you want to know all I could hear in that moment
What was
was like
that?
there was an audio going around for a while on the internet where it was like uppies, uppies. That was all I could hear when I like saw that.
I laughed
Uppies.
so hard. And then she's like trying to taunt May and Waka as they're getting in the ring
Yeah,
from Bane's shoulders. It was so funny.
it was adorable. Little
Oh,
May May, I
it
love
was
her.
so good. Mariah like going up to Bane and like patting her on the head before the match. It was like
Hmm.
just a weird spot. Then Bane like pushed her away. Yeah,
She was like not having it.
yeah. So the match starts. Fast start with May and May. I'm not gonna go.
May May.
Not with May May. I'm gonna say Sarah and Mariah on this. Don't worry. Fast start from Sarah and Mariah trading few pins back and forth. Mariah May gets the spinning back break, like super spin into the backbreaker for two, and
Mhm.
then Club Venus gets the dual drop kick, but May Sarah stops the hip attack to the head from Waka, slapping her in the ass, or
Yeah, double spank.
double chopping her in the butt. That was funny.
I put down
Uh,
the double spank.
Double spank. Okay, I didn't go there. Bane comes in. She's beating up on Waka. I guess a delayed suplex, and then just like she's holding her up, then just like drops her in front of her. Then
Mhm.
she like just steps on her with one foot on, like cocky 2 count. Um, May Sarah in with a suplex for 2, but Walk comes back hitting a running crossbody. And then Mariah May gets tagged in and she hits the Barbie Blade, hits the
Yeah.
speed chops, places May Sarah up on top. She gets the double chops and then hit 2 her on top and hits the Stratus Rana. Uh, May Sarah fights back, but Walker comes in, hits the Oblivion in the ropes. Mariah May hits the backdrop driver, but Bain comes in, breaking up the pin and tossing Mariah across the ring.
Hmm.
Jesus.
Yeah, she picked her up in a German suplex off that pin and just yeeted her.
Yeah. So Bane gets tagged in, and Mariah May goes and hits this beautiful like airplane spinning head scissors, and she literally during the head scissors tags in Waka, which I was like,
Mhm,
yeah, and she does hit the head scissors to Bane,
mhm.
then and then yeah, so Waka comes in, Bane hits us, does get them both up, it hits like a fall away Samoan drop combo to them both. Waka's trying to fight back against Bane, but she keeps fighting her off. Bane gets the tree slam for 2. May Sarah takes out Mariah May in the ring, sending her to the floor, and then Bane picks up May Sarah and tosses her onto Mariah May on the floor, and Bane hits the F5 to get the win. And then after the match, May Sarah goes up to Bane. She's like, and then
Please,
Bane just looks at her
please.
and just goes, it was actually really good. Again, it's that same thing as the lift. Or like she wanted the lift. It was like, "Can I have a fist bump?" And then Bane just like, "Yeah."
Upbeats.
And it was just like, and it wasn't even like enthusiastic. Like, yeah, it was like a yeah, like how I'd expect Brock Lesnar to fist bump somebody if he could, if he had to. Just like a yeah.
$2 million, sir. $2 million. Think of the $2 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, oh, this was a fun one. What did I have that you didn't say?
Nothing.
Um the twirly twisty wisty hair toss thing that May did on Waka after the double spank there. That's so mean. So mean. That's something very similar Poi does too. Um yeah, when Bane got in there against Waka though after the spot with the hip attack there, she was brutal. Like she tossed Waka around. She beat the holy heck crap out of her. That was crazy.
Hmm.
Um Barbie Blade breaking up with the German helicopter. Oh yeah, her yeeting, Bane yeeting both Waka and Mariah was just the girl is just pure power.
Mm-hmm.
Just crazy. Um, I liked this note that I wrote down here. Waka feeding Bane shots, but they are ineffective. Waka trying the choke, rear choke,
Yeah, and
also
then just
equally
get
ineffective.
and she just gets
Um,
yeeted off her back. She just takes her and just
yeah,
goes,
into the
"Whomp."
bone. Yeah, just a thud, man. Oh, Waka, bless you for trying, girl. Um, yeah, she. That was. I felt that was a great finish. Didn't feel it was necessary for her to yeet her partner.
Yeah.
But did you see afterwards? Lil May May also hid Mariah under the ring.
Yes, I saw that. I was like, what? Because like Mariah's feet were stick. Like think of the like,
Casually kicked them
and
under.
I would never call Mariah this, but think of the wicked old witch of the west, or the wicked old witch that got crushed by the house, and like the feet sticking out. That's how Mariah May looked, like with her feet sticking out. And then May just takes her feet and just slips them on the ring, and goes,
See, what I was envisioning was like, someone's body under the bed and them just kicking the legs back under there. But wow, we
well, no, it just
went to the
that.
witch.
It was just it was just the boot, like the feet and the boots sticking out, is what made me
Oh,
think
that's
about it.
fair. That's fair. This
It
was
was
a
just
really fun match for how good it was.
yeah, it was just below the knee that was sticking out. That's why it made me think of the feet sticking out from
I
Wicked Old
get you.
Witch.
Yeah, because you could
Uh,
see your stockings and everything.
yeah, it was funny. Again, it was a really enjoyable match. I'm sad my girls didn't win, but
Yeah,
mm,
still a fun, entertaining
they're
match.
building up Bane to be this just monster. Like she's taken the
Um,
loss yet to Tam Nakano. She had a couple tag losses because of her partners, but like even after the Tam loss, just this lady is still an intimidating presence. They built her up
mhm.
right. She can beat their Brock Lesnar easily.
Oh, 100%.
hmm
100%.
We move on. Tag team match. It's Cosmic Angels Natsupoi and Yuna Mizumori taking on
Ooh,
God's Eyes, Saki Kashima, and Siri. So Saki Kashima's asking for the shake early. Yuna bats it away. They get into a quick, like, little back and forth. Uh, Saki getting the drop hold on the rope and kicks the rope up into her face. And then she, like, feigns, like, her back being hurt,
mhm,
like, trying
yeah.
to tag out the Siri. And Siri's just like, no. Like, she won't even let her. So
Tough luck.
Saki gets Yuna into position and does the kick to the back like Siri, and then just falls and grabs her leg like she hurt herself with the kick.
Yeah.
It's like you're not ready for those kicks yet, girl. You're not ready for PKs yet. You're,
No.
you don't have the proper kick pads. You haven't trained. You haven't kicked enough trees with your shins yet. You're not ready.
Nay, nay, we say.
Yeah, so she like crawls over, so she Suri tags in, and then she unloads a bunch of PKs to Unimizumori. It was brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No bueno.
Why did I write Waka? What the hell?
I don't know.
Yuna fights back with forearms, which Suri unloads more kicks, but then Yuna gets the head strike and gets the strikes and the lariat. Natsupoi comes in, hits the headhunter. Then she's going for another move, but Saki ends up cutting her off. Natsupoi ends up like arm dragging her into like she hit the headhunter and Suri went to the ropes. She went for the running knee, but then a running drop kick in the ropes. So Natsupoi then arm drags her into the ropes and hits the running drop kick in on the bottom rope to both Suri and Saki. Um, they're in the ring trading forearms. Nat dodges one. Um, Nat dodges like two of Suri's PKs. But then she gets hit with the third one. It looked rough as fuck. The third one that. uh,
Well, that's what happens when you piss her off dodging the first two.
so Saki gets tagged in. She gets the double knees off the top for two. Natsupoi hits the super kick to Saki Kashima. Yuna then gets tagged in and gets a couple drop kicks, but Siri comes in and God's Eye double team Yuna. Yuna ends up fighting off God's Eye, and Nat comes in, hits the double crossbody to God's Eye, and Yuna and Nat get the dude like it was like a dude buster head hunter combo. Almost like she had her over her
Yeah.
back for the dude buster or like a dead eye, and then Nat came over to the flip neck breaker. I liked it.
Mhm.
Saki dodges a lariat and hits the uppercut to Yuna, but Yuna gets a Death Valley driver. They trade pins. Yuna gets her Superman pin for two. Yuna hits a big lariat for two. When she goes for another move, Suri ends up kicking her in the head, and Saki catches her with the Kishi Kaisei and gets the win.
So I have thoughts. I
I want
have
to hear
thoughts.
them.
Um, Saki offering the handshake to Yuna at the beginning there, and Yuna turning it down. These wrestlers really making it hard for Cash Misaki to pull this face turn, but she's equally not making it easier on herself by wrestling like a dick.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Kicking the ropes still, wrestling very sneaky, very shady. And I'm noticing, much like in life, you are who you surround yourself with. Suri's surrounding herself with Kashima a little bit. She was savage in this match, like uncharacteristically vicious. Like she's usually dominant,
Mm-hmm.
but she almost had this, like, I've been using the word a lot, this feralness about her when she wrestles with Saki that she doesn't have that when she wrestles, for example, with Ami or with Mirai or even with Inaba when they were in karate.
Or even with Konami, she doesn't have that.
Yeah, it's this little nasty kind of. What did she plant there? I don't know. It's interesting that we only see it with Saki.
And the
Um,
question is, will Saki corrupt God's Eye? That's a question right there.
Could we see God's Eye turn into the Dark Powerpuff Girls?
Ooh, let's do it.
Ooh, dun, 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 dun. The spot where Suri was just standing there, arms wide open, letting Yuna just just strike her. I
With
was like,
arms wide
oh, I
open.
was hoping you'd get it. Um, yeah, just standing there, letting Yuna feed her. I was like, oh no, you don't know what you're doing. Just leveling Yuna after with that massive kick. It's just, oof, pretty much lawn chaired her there. Poi having to save Yuna quite a bit throughout the match from near pinfall submissions. Like she was just having a rough go, poor Mizumori. Um, yeah, that's all I got on this one.
No,
Poi really pissed off Suri ducking those kicks.
yeah, I really enjoyed this, and I like the
Mhm.
viciousness that's coming this year, getting even more and more vicious.
Yeah, yeah. I'm kind of on the corruption angle, you know? I'd like to see her. Yeah, she almost feels like Okada right now, where she's in that transitional phase.
Yeah, I would like to see that. Again, she's transitioning in
Mm.
not a weird way, I guess. Um, Stars Kokuma, Mayu Itani, and Momokogo take on Oedo Tai's Fukigen Death and Natsu Katora and Arena. Fukigen Death wearing the chain, but nobody's holding her. Nobody's
Ain't
controlling
nothing
her.
gonna break a stride.
Shouldn't have anybody to hold her back or control her anymore since Saki left. Um,
No.
Koguma doing the bear dance while Fukigen Death doing the death dance, I guess. I don't
Death,
know.
death, looking at death.
Bear,
So cool.
bear, death bear. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. It
Yeah,
really upset Kaguma, whatever it was.
so they get into a little bit of back and forth, and Fuki then squats and pretends to smoke. So Kakuma gets mad and makes the ref have her put to smoke. It was so dumb.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then Fuki's like, after the ref gets distracted, she goes for the double eye poke, but Kakuma stops her. But then Fuki does her crazy shit and ends up getting the double eye poke. It was just, I loved it. I really did.
Oh,
Like,
don't forget that Fook also tried to choke out the ref.
that is true. That is true.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to take her cigarette away. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't take the crazy clown smoke, sir.
No, and like I was saying, I think this is so funny. Khan still scares me. Don't get me wrong. Rena's in with the hip tosses, and then Tora hits the splash. Then Rena and Tora hit the piggyback splash onto
Mm-hmm.
Koguma for two. They're stealing
Mm-hmm.
Stars' move. Um, Koguma dodges the lariat and hits a DDT on Tora, and then in comes Mayu unloading on Tora till she fights back with a slam in the senton. Rena in, she gets a Northern Lights suplex for two. Then Koguma hits a cutter to Rena. Then her and Mayu Itani hit that wheelbarrow flip slam, or she gets
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Mayu up and then they do the flip and like sending Koguma
I
onto
like that.
Rena. Um, Oeda's all splashing Mayu Itani in the corner, and then Tora hits the cannonball, then hits the cradle shock, and Rena hits a double knee drop off the top, but she only gets two.
Mm-hmm.
Momo hits a suicide dive to the floor off of an Irish whip, and then Kokuma gets a high cross off the top to Rena. Then Mayu hits the top rope frog splash for two. Uh, Rena reverses the Snapdragon into a beautiful backslide driver, and then gets that jackknife cover for two.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Maya gets her in position, gets her into the wheelbarrow position, and turns it into the standing Dragon Sleeper. And Rena is forced to just tap out.
Interesting way to end the match. Um, Not the way I would have gone with it. If Widow Tai was taking a loss, I definitely would have went more with Fook, just
Yeah,
because
me too.
yeah, she's just a little bit more part timey than
Mhm.
Rena. And Rena's also the champion. I mean, she's a future Stardom champion, but still champion nonetheless.
Mhm.
Um, Not gonna lie, I feel bad saying this, but like until Momo did that dive on the outside, I totally forgot she was in the match. It's
Hmm.
like she wasn't even there or like
Like
around until
if
that
you go with
moment.
if you go with all my notes, I don't really have anything for her. She was. I don't ever think she was legally in the match.
I have to agree. I don't recall her being legal in the match. Strange.
If it was, she was in there for like a hot second, but that's it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, otherwise, I don't have a ton of notes on this one. I just kind of enjoyed it. They teams flowed so well together. Both these teams. These are the two teams that I think are the ones that flow so effortlessly together the best in this company. Is
Mhm.
you can take out any member of Oedo Tai and they're still going to work. And you can take out any member of Stars and they're still going to work.
Well, I think it's that Oedo Tai all has this vicious nature in the
Hmm.
way they do things, and then the thing with stars is they all have common moves they all use together. That
Hmm.
wheelbarrow facebuster they all use together. The
Hmm.
wheelbarrow flip slam they all use together. There's all these moves that they all use together.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, yeah.
So it makes them the Stars.
Ha 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 ha
Aha,
ha ha ha. You're funny.
honey.
Yeah. So I move on. We're gonna get into the 5-star Grand Prix matches. We started off in the Blue Stars division. It's Ariana versus Mirai. Really good back and forth wrestling to start. There's a test to strength. Mirai
Hmm.
gets Anu down, but then Anu fights back up. But Mirai hits a sweep and gets her 2 count. But then Anu like matrixes up and then hits that downward axe kick thing.
Hmm.
Love it. And then she gets the
Hmm.
figure 4 headlock. But Mirai does eventually get to the ropes. Anu goes to the top. Mirai cuts her off, whips her off the top. Mirai starts hitting shoulder blocks, gets a slam for 2. Mirai gets the crossface, but Anu gets to the ropes. Mirai misses in the corner, and Anu gets the enziguri, then gets kicks to the head of a down Mirai, and but then Mirai back up, drops with a shoulder block, and gets her in the corner and gets the corner splashes, and then a final big lariat in the corner. Mirai goes up to the top, hits the top rope drop kick, and gets a 2 count. Anu fights her off, and they trade strikes. Then Mirai unloads forearms, but Anu comes back with the enziguri. But Mirai ends up catching a kick, gets the dragon screw leg whip, and then hits the sliding flatliner. I think she got a 2 there. Um, Mirai goes up to the top, but gets cut off by Anu, and Anu hits the Hurricane Rana off the top rope. That was really good. Like Anu's like Rana's look phenomenal. Like the way she
Hmm.
falls with them, they look so good. Um, Anu gets a bridging fisherman suplex for 2, then gets the straight jacket choke. But Anu eventually just lets the choke go because he can't get to the submission after so long. Anu tries a German but can't, so she hits a hard slap to Mirai's face, and then she gets the bridging German for 2. Mirai comes back with a short arm lariat. Both are down. Mirai misses lariats, but then hits the angle slam, then hits the SS Columbia with Michelle for 2. Anu gets a sunset flip, but Mirai comes gets a sunset flip for 2. Then Mirai gets a running back elbow, hits a Northern Lights suplex for 2. Mirai gets the Miramari shock, but she can only get 2. Anu ends up reversing a lariat into the Potering bridging pin, and she gets the win.
Mm.
It doesn't surprise me because I know what's going to happen on that October show because we were talking about it in the last show with the
Hmm.
October show and that these two are facing off, so it makes more sense now.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. That
No,
being said, when they do face off, I expect a different result.
me too.
Um, I I like. I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys here. You know, I haven't been liking Sariano and her just lack of personality. This was the first match that I've seen her in a non-tag capacity where she was actually so good.
Hmm?
Her facial expressions were perfect. She was reacting perfectly to everything. She had so much personality, so much charisma in this match. She and Mirai had a tremendous, tremendous match.
She
A
actually
good,
yelled at a couple points, like
yeah.
like kind of Tam or Natsupoi ish.
Exactly. Like we saw this emergence of a new version of her, and I'm just like, yes, keep giving it to me. This is the Saoriano I want. But she's not quite ready for me personally to be that second tier level belt. She needs to still work on a few things. There's been a couple girls here been working a hot minute that deserve a title shot before, but I think if she can get some wins over them as well, would certainly earn her way up there. And I would certainly love to see some of those matches.
Plus, I don't want to see Mirai's title reign end this early either, because I'm really,
Yeah.
yeah. She just won it before this tournament or
Mhm.
during the tournament, whatever, and really hasn't had a chance to really run as champion yet.
No, no, I would like to see her get a couple defenses under her belt. She's worked hard and she deserves it.
Very much so. Very, very much so. We move on.
Hmm.
We're talking Hazuki versus
Holy
Starlight Kid.
diggity.
Yeah, this was an interesting match with a very interesting ending.
Uh-huh.
Starlight Kid attacks during the entrance, and she had, like, you hear Hazuki's new music. She's coming. You think she's coming out, and then all of a sudden you see Starlight Kid coming out like with a headlock on Hazuki. She runs
Mhm.
her into the chairs. They fight up into the stands. Starlight Kid runs her into a door, and the door like pops open.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. They brawl in the stands. Suzuki misses the running boot, and the Starlight Kid hits a head scissors. She gets the standing stretch muffler kind of like over the stairs. Kind of looked a
Mhm.
little bit dangerous. Like I was like,
Yeah.
Um,
Starlight Kid though.
they fight their way down the stairs, and Starlight Kid is like slams Suzuki on the floor. Then she like pours a bottle of water over her head, just being a
Mhm.
dick. Um, Starlight Kid gets the face wash and running drop kick to the knee in the ropes. Hazuki fights back with a lariat, tosses Starlight Kid by the hair into the ropes. Then she gets her face wash from running boot. She gets the full Nelson slam and then the senton to follow up. Uh, she, uh, she hits the running boot in the corner, then hits the second rope drop kick, and Hazuki gets two. And then she applies the crossface. But Starlight Kid does get to the ropes. Starlight Kid fights back. She gets the standing moonsault, then applies a stretch muffler, but Hazuki gets to the ropes. Uh, Starlight Kid gets the double knees to the back in the ropes, then tries to cross legged fisherman, but gets sent into the corner and like gets like put up into the corner, and Hazuki hits the runs into the corner, hits the MX out of the corner, then hits a second rope senton. Then she goes to the top and he goes for the top rope senton, but Starlight Kid gets out of the way. Then she reapplies the stretch muffler, but Hazuki eventually fights out, and then they end up trading. Like she fights her off, and then they end up trading roll ups. Hazuki tries the suplex, but Starlight Kid hits the cross-legged fisherman suplex. Then she hits another's. Then she hits the top rope moonsault, but again, Hazuki kicks out at two. Starlight Kid goes back up and hits a twist. Like she gets the leg out first and hits a twisting frog splash to the knee of Hazuki. Then she reapplies the stretch muffler with and like pulling on the arm, and then like Hazuki's getting close to the rope. So Starlight Kid goes to readjust and bring her back to center, and this is where Hazuki rolls her up, and then Starlight Kid reverses that, and they end up reversing the pins a couple times, and then Hazuki gets the Hazuki Kistral, as it was called, which is a La Magistral, the Hazuki Kistral, and she gets the win.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm not gonna lie. I expected Hazuki to pick up the win in this one over Starlight Kid.
I didn't.
Really?
I well, just the way this match was going, I'm like, I really thought Starlight Kid was taking this with a stretch muffler.
I mean, fair. I mean, the stretch muffler that she does is pretty vicious, pretty good variation. But yeah, no, I personally thought that Hazuki was gonna take this one, especially after the attack and the beatdown at the beginning. Like if we look at some kind of semblance of NJPW kind of templates, that's kind of usually what they do. Um, and we have been seeing a little bit more involvement with them over there, a little bit. But yeah, that jump start was savage by Starlight Kid, and Hazuki just pretty much just doing her best to kind of put on that resiliency that she's just known for, right? Um, I didn't take a whole lot of notes on this one because I just was kind of flabbergasted for a lot of this one, just surprised at like Hazuki still being able to kick out, Starlight Kid still being able to kick out. Like the resiliency of these two women is just incredible. Very, very fun match.
Yeah, a really fun, high paced, high speed match at points, but then very
Yeah.
brawling and technical at others.
Yeah, yeah. It was a nice kind of roller coaster ride, if you will.
Again, it gave you a variety of everything here.
Exactly.
So we move on. It's Tam Nakano versus one of Mel's favorites, Suzu Suzuki.
Yeah.
They get into each other's faces before and like touching each other's faces and like it was weird. And then they start trading forearms. Tam dodges a lariat, gets a sunset, and then gets like sunsets, flips her through, and hits a drop kick. Tam misses a running knee in the ropes, and then Suzu gets her and like hot shots her on the rope, and
Mhm,
then pulls her through and hits the drive-by kick. Suzu misses a running knee. Tam gets a running knee, and then gets a running knee in the ropes. Tam, like they end up both on the apron, and Tam hits a running knee into the corner on the apron, and then like pulls Suzuki through, locks
mhm,
her legs under the one turnbuckle, like she's like legs here, that she's crossing back through under the other two turnbuckles, and like she's pulling down on her, and like Suzuki's just yelling. And then she lets her go, and like Suzuki falls out and falls to the floor. So
mhm.
Tam climbs to the top, and then Suzy comes back up. She's on the apron, grabs Tam, and just whips her off. Like and Tam just goes crashing onto the apron. It looked brutal as hell. And
Yeah.
both fall to the floor. Suzy takes Tam into the stands, slamming her face off the wall. Tam reverses, slams Suzy's face off the wall. They fight back to the ring, and they roll back out, and they go back to the another sign on the other side. They slam each other's faces into the sign on the walls again. Um, it was just an interesting, weird little spot. Um, and then they're back at ringside, and then Suzuki gets that half Nelson spin out facebuster thing
Mhm,
onto like slamming her into the ring apron, and then she gets her back in. Suzu hits the top rope drop kick Tam in the ring. Suzu unloads forearms, hits the running drop kick. Tam stops the tequila shot, but Suzu gets the super kick. They strike each other on the ropes, like running back and forth, hitting each other on the ropes. And then Suzu hits a German, but Tam comes back with her own German. Then Suzu comes back with her own German. Then Tam comes back with another German. They're both on their knees, battling. They're fighting as they stand up. And then they both like swing for a head kick, and they both connect and they drop. Again, just these two are so good together.
mhm,
Like Jesus. They end up running at each other, and then Tam gets this like beautiful roundhouse after like she missed the kick. She hits a beautiful roundhouse kick, but
mhm,
Susan goes for the tequila shot, but Tam gets the German, the running knee for two. Tam gets Suzu up, but Suzu rolls through, gets the key, and then gets the tequila roll into the pinfall for two. Suzu hits the head kicks to Tam. Suzu then hits the tequila shot, but again can only get two. So Tam and Suzu end up both up top, but Suzu hits hard slaps and gets that half Nelson Uranagi off the second for two. Suzu hits the German, but as she rolls through for another, Tam gets a roll up for two. Suzu gets back into the German, hits the German, but like rolls to the side, not her usual roll back and over that Suzu does,
mhm.
just rolls to the side, like I guess more like Chris Benoit style, and don't like to bring his name up much, but it's that style where he keeps the thing held, turns, stands up, hits the bridging German, and she gets the win on the world champion. Yes, that means we're gonna get these two at some point this fall.
Yes, I hope so.
Me
It needs to
too.
happen.
November
Oh,
sometime, please.
this match was freaking awesome. I'm not gonna lie though, when she kicked out of that tequila shot the first time, Tam, I was like, oh no, no.
Mm,
I was scared. I was
yeah.
scared, not gonna lie. But then when I saw Suzu hit that the Germans, I was like, oh, she's done.
Mm,
The Germans are usually a deadfall there. And holy man, I was not disappointed. This match was incredible. These girls were just beating the holy heckin' crap out of each other. And it looked fantastic. Especially seeing someone like Tam. I mean, knowing what we know about Suzu, it's like it's not surprising. I'm not surprised. But like seeing Tam, the cute little kawaii, doing what she was doing, man, there's a reason why she's the champ. This was so much fun. I love this match.
yeah. If I'm gonna, and I love the main event, but if I'm gonna recommend one single match off this card to somebody, I think it has to be this one with the
Mm-hmm.
just how good they work together
Mm-hmm.
and how
Mm-hmm.
much varying offense was in this. This should be the match. Like I love the main event. I think it's absolutely tremendous what those two did. But like this was just so good. Like
Mm-hmm.
so good, man. Like I would
I
have to
agree.
recommend this over anything to anybody. 100%. We move
100.
on. Main event of the evening. It's the Battle of Donna Del Mundo. It's
Yeah.
Julia versus Micah. Really good back and forth wrestling to start. Each trying to gain the dominant position. They
Mm-hmm.
end up dodging each other a really good bit, and then Julia gets the octopus. But then Micah literally swings her around to the front of her. Like the fact that she has the ability to know how to reverse this octopus lock is like that's the factor of being stablemates, having that ability to know how to get out of your opponent's move, your teammate's move. Swings her around, yeets her with the fallaway slam, sending her to the floor. Uh, get on the floor. Micah goes to whip her into the chairs, but Julie reverses, whipping Mike into the chairs. They
Mm-hmm.
brawl farther into the crowd. Julie ends up hitting Micah with a chair. Then she goes for a suplex onto a couple chairs piled up, but Micah reverses and suplexes. She went for a Falcon Arrow, wanted to lift her up and like drop it.
Mm-hmm.
But then Micah ended up just suplexing her onto the chairs.
Did you
Uh,
see her save the purse?
oh, did she?
Yeah, there was a purse that fell on the floor at that point, and Julie was like, "Oh no!" And she like moved a chair over and then put the purse on it. And was like, "They're there."
No guy would ever think to do that. No, I
Just
guarantee.
saying,
Yeah.
chivalry is not dead; it's alive with Julia.
Yeah. So they go back to the ring. They trade forearms in the center. Julia pulls a leg hold and transitions it into the STF, but Micah does eventually get to the ropes. Julia gets to see the drop kick, then the splash into the corner. Julia goes up, but gets cut off by Micah. Micah hits the superplex out of the corner, then rolls through and hits two more suplexes, keeps them rolling through with them. Looked really good, and but she can only get a 2 count after the superplex and the two others. Micah hits a hard lariat, then hits a judo sweep for two. Julia reverses a slam, gets reverses out of a slam and hits the German. Micah catches the knee strike, then gets her behind just like I don't know what it was, but if she got her behind the back, it looked like it could have been she was going like maybe going for the area crash, but she never really got her in like a good position
Mm-hmm.
and just slammed down on her. Um, yeah, where did that go? And then she gets an like that off the shoulder spinning side like spin into the sidewalk slam, and Micah gets
Yeah, that thing
two.
almost looks like Stormbreaker, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like, but she spins her off into like a sidewalk slam versus.
Yeah.
I really like that one. Julia
Mhm.
reverses another slam into a leg lock, and her and Micah like she's got her leg out. She's like mounted over top of her. Then they just start trading, slapping each other. Then Julia
Mhm.
pulls her in while still having the leg lock in and applies the guillotine. But Micah does it like she reaches out and she gets the ropes.
Mhm.
So so Julia gets the cradle hammerlock Northern Lights suplex for two. It literally is a cradle Northern Lights, but also had the hammerlock in there. Jesus. Uh,
Bonkers.
Micah fights back, gets just a straight right, just
Mhm.
leveling Julia. Then rams her with like just slams her with that power bomb. but she can
Mhm.
only get two. So Julia stops the slam. Micah gets the strikes to Julia. Then Julia hits a backdrop driver, then rolls Micah up, but Micah reverses and gets a two count. Julia unloads strikes, dropping Micah. She hits the glorious driver, but Micah kicks out at one. One.
Mhm.
So Julia hits the knee strike to the face. She ends up putting Micah up top. They brawl up top, but Julia hits the butterfly suplex off the top two. She then picks her up, hits the Northern Lights bomb, and she gets the win.
I mean, I love my Micah. But was
Mm-hmm.
there any doubt? Was there any doubt?
A
A
little
little
bit.
bit?
Because
A
I,
little bit?
because I could see them doing it, like just to have. Because again, especially with what they're gonna. Like, but again, I understand it with what they're setting up after. It makes more
Mhm.
sense to do it this way. But I thought there maybe could have done it, and just then they could have set up another singles between the two of them. Because again, they're on a little bit different. Well, being in the same faction, they do have to seem to have a little rivalry going on right now.
Yeah, Micah has been teaming a little bit more with Suzu and May May and Megan Bain and arguably doing, better with them. And now we see, Julia going into the tag goddess of is that what it is? The goddess of stardom?
Yes, with Tekla.
Yeah, we see her going with Tekla instead of Micah. We see her teaming with Suzu.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. And Micah's being a little left out since the departure of Himika. So maybe we see Micah, starting to move out on her own a little bit more. And Julia is also a very, very good leader to give those wins also.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I don't know. I personally think double champion though. I
Yeah,
think
you don't want your double champion to lose, obviously.
exactly, especially when she's coming off of a win not too long ago. She's got two defenses now in the last little while under her belt against you, and then that fatal four way.
And Risa Sarah.
Risa Sarah, so three major title defenses.
Risa Sarah's the most recent one, actually
Very
from last show we did. Yeah,
recent Risa Sarah.
recent Sarah. Yeah.
But we'll be here all week. We
Hmm.
probably will.
Yeah, we're gonna have a couple more shows this week, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry, we got to catch up.
We do. Yeah, this was an incredible match. I absolutely love this faction versus faction, friend versus friend. And again, who knows how to, better defend against you, but then your stablemate and friend. I mean, this was a great match.
Yeah. So after the match, Julia gets the mic. She says, "Micah, you are really, really tough. So I don't know if any of you remember, but it seems we don't have to do the generational battle anymore, or whatever. The fact that Micah is in DDM is more reassuring to me than anything else, and I really consider Micah to be the best friendly competition companion." Again, this is
Oh.
translations, so the wording doesn't make quite sense to me, but I understand it.
Mhm.
So please keep up the good work. In this way, let's do our best, even in the same block. And then she says, "Wait." And then Suzuki comes out and says, wait a minute, Micah. Maybe it was a good place, but you lost again, Micah." She is referring to the generational struggle match when Julia pinned Micah. I had it in my mind that you could win part two. Um, because again, yeah, she got pinned by Julia in the generational struggle, and then Micah takes the mic out of Julia's hand and says, "Yo, shut up. You shut up. Read the room. Read the room. You're so insistent." And then Caesar goes, "Or what?" And Micah goes, "I'll get my revenge on Julia." As Julia's standing there, or like kneeling there by her, and says, "In return, you and I will team up and challenge for the artist belts that Julia has." And the best part about this at this point now is the way Julia's reacting to everything. She's like she like falls back and lays on the mat. And she's like getting like weirdly angry, but like bewildered. Like I loved watching her in the background. It was so good.
You know what it reminded me of? Remember when Will Ospreay was having the title argued about by who was it, Naito and
Oh, dude, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Naito and Saber, maybe. I don't know, but
yeah, yeah, that
yeah,
sounds about
and they
right.
were
Yeah,
just ignoring him the whole time. It was so good,
yeah,
so
felt the
good.
same energy, same vibe.
Yeah, and then Susan goes, "Why do I have to work with you? Isn't that crazy?" And
She
then
is a guy's girl.
Mike is like, "Because you said so and so," and then the priest yelling, "Because you said so and so," and then Susan's like, "But why do I have to team with you?" And said, Mike is like, "Because all you do is run your mouth." And Susan goes, "If you say okay, I promise we'll win." I can't remember which one said that. And then Susie's like, "You sure will? You sure you'll win if I give you the okay? I told you all. Hey, we're all listening to you. You sure you're gonna win?" And then Mike is like, "I'm going to win. I told you, it's revenge." And like this is where like Julia's like on the ropes going, "What the fuck?" And then she just like falls on her back, like, oh, like just laid out of the mat. It was funny. And then Susie yells, "I'll do it!" And Mike is like, "Okay, okay." And then they go. And then Susie's like, "We need one more person." And they both yell together, "Megan!" And Julia's in the background like, "Megan!" And off mic, you can hear it clearly off mic going, "Megan!" She's like starting to freak out now.
Oh
And then they
yeah.
both go, they both yell back at her, "Megan!" And the crowd starts chanting, "Megan, Megan!" And then Julia gets the mic back and she goes, "She ain't coming out here. Does Megan even understand that we're gonna do this?" And then Susie's like, "We'll explain it to her later." It's just like, what the? And then Julia's like, "What the hell?" Well, anyways, wait a minute. Tomorrow we're tagging together, right? Dream tag. I'll keep the artist thing in mind, but let me think about it after tomorrow. Is that okay? Okay. And then Micah yells, "I'm gonna get my revenge." And it's just like, uh, and then Julia's like, "Let's look forward to the artist battle. First of all, thank you very much for your votes. Tomorrow for the Dream Tag Team, Suzu and Julia's tag team, hands down the top team. I guess it was voted. I didn't know we could vote on it. Uh,
Well,
I hope everyone's looking forward to tomorrow's Dream Tag Team. And now the 5-star Grand Prix is down to my final two matches. If I continue if I continue to win at this rate, it won't be a dream to win the championship for the second year in a row. Please look forward to seeing Julia win back-to-back 5-star championships for the first time in history. And then she goes, "I'm going to sign off," and does the arrivederci, and she gets out of there.
what a fun little
Yeah.
bitty bitty. So I
Yeah.
remember I was watching this as I mentioned on my warm up at the gym. So the match ended, and I'm like, how is there still like 15 minutes left in the show? It's because they had their friendly little banter, and boy, was that fun to listen to. I'm looking
I,
forward to this.
I loved it. And again, like I pulled up the card. Yeah. So October 9th at what's the name of the card? Golden something. Nagoya Golden Fight 2023. The
Mm.
Miracle of Kinshaki.
Oh, fancy,
Yeah.
fancy. So it's Megan Bain,
We got
Suzu
Meg.
Suzuki, and Micah versus Thekla, Mai Sakurai, and Julia.
Yeah, the Bari Bari Bombers take on Micah, Suzu, and Megan Bain.
Ooh,
Plus, the rest of that card is going to be insane. So, like, that's the
oh
one we're gonna get.
damn,
That's the one we're getting that UWF rules with
oh yeah,
Sari and Mina. We're getting a high speed between Saki and May
yeah,
Sarah.
man.
We're getting that tag team title match with Natsupoi and or Cosmic Angels versus Queen's Quest, Utami and
Mm-hmm.
Azumi. Like there's the Kairi's final match in that 6-woman tag where she's teaming up with Mayu to take on Stars. And then like you have that Wonder title, you have the Wonder of Stardom title match between Mirai and Momo. Then you have Tam versus Katora. Again, that whole card looks amazing.
Very much so. Very
Yeah.
much so. Lots of great wrestling coming your way, guys.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give a quick point update before we get out of here. Do it very
Hmm.
quickly here. We have in the Red Stars division, we have Tam Nakano and Mayu Iwatani with 7, Hazuki with 6, Natsupoi and Suri with 9, Ami Sourei with 4, Natsuki Tora with 12, Starlight Kid with 4, Suzu Suzuki with 6, and Sayaka Mitani with 0 because she has taken herself out of the tournament with an injury. Um,
Hmm.
Over in the Blue Stars division, you have Hanan with 2, Utami Hayashishida with 8, Azumi with 6, Julia with not leading the block with 9, Micah with 5, Mirai, Mina Shirakawa, Mariah May, and Momo Watanabe with 6, and then Saori Anu with 8. Again, it looks like it could come. It's still, as much as Julia's ahead by 3 points on a lot of people, it's still wide open.
100%. This is kind of going back to the G1 where there was certain blocks that are a lot more obvious of who was going to be sitting at the top there. Okada. Um, but like
Nada.
that one also, it's very obvious. I mean, to me, obviously, not just as a fan, but like this numbers speak for themselves. Natsuka Tora
Mhm.
dominating that Red Stars division. It's anyone's division or anyone's win in the Blue Star there, man.
Like I think it's gonna come down. I think look and like Natsupoi or Shuri are the two that are. It's gonna be one of those two to possibly get the 13 points. I'm looking at it. Just give me a second. Yeah, both of them still have 2 matches left. Where Tora only has one.
Mm.
So you're or they've got one. They got 4, 5, 6. Oh, they've each got 3 left. Shit, they've got a few. They've each got a couple match. They've each got 3 matches left. So they have a real chance to unseat Tora. So again, it's all up in the air who's going to be coming out of that Red Stars too between those three, in my opinion.
I'll write this too because Tora did Tora have a draw?
No, Tora did not. She just went
Oh
six.
no,
She
she's
went
just
six.
got wins, one loss.
She has 6. She went 6-2. She went
Jeepers.
6-2. So she only
Jeepers,
has her one
jeepers.
match left to get her to 14. But that would mean that you would have for her to get to 14. If she gets to 14, I mean Suri or Natsupoi would each have to win their last 3 matches to get to 15 points to outpoint her. So again, there's all those little things that how does it all come down on that final night? Like
Let's not complicate the math for Melba. Let's just make it simple.
those
Let
those
Tora
are the
win.
3 people in this run right now. Simple as that. It all comes
Yeah,
down to
let
the
Tora win.
It all comes down to that final night. It's all going to come down to that final night.
Tora, Tora, Tora.
Natsupoi, Natsupoi, Natsupoi.
You'd be bye, poi.
Suri, Suri, Suri. Now I'm looking forward to that, and so much more great stuff coming from Stardom that I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to over this next little bit.
Mm. Yeah, so gonna be exciting.
Yeah, so you can find me on the X, Mastodon, Blue Sky, and Hive at That Canada Guy. You can find me on the TikTok, the Instagram, and the Threads at That Canada Dude. You can also find me on our Facebook page at Andre Melba Wrestling Talk on Facebook. Um, also check us out. You can message if you want to get a hold of me. Message me in the comments. I'd love hearing from all of you guys. And you can find us right here at youtube.com/ at Andre Melba Wrestling Talk. Don't forget to go over to our friends over at our local establishment. Still not sure what I'm doing with Marvel Talk come October with Loki. We have had some conversations, but we are not sure if we're going to come back or not because we're still with the strike still going. We're not sure what we're doing. So just keep tuned into there just to see if I show up on our local establishment at twitch.tv/ our local establishment, Instagram and TikTok at OLE Podcast. You can also find them over at youtube.com/ at our local establishment. And one more I want to drop. My boy, my mentor, my friend, my buddy, Mr. Mike the Ref, all his great content over at Backbreaker Video. You can please go check him out at youtube.com/ at Backbreaker Video. You might be watching us there now. So if you are, please subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and then go over to our channel and do the same thing. Um, And then don't forget to check him out live on Twitch at twitch.tv/Mike the Ref. Every Wednesday, he's got the watch along for AEW, a lot of other gaming content throughout the week. I know he's been playing a lot of Mortal Kombat lately, so if you're into watching him play some fighting games, go check him out there. And if you want some replays of all his gaming content, go over to youtube.com/at backbreaker_gaming to find him, Mr. PJC, Mr. Rick Jules, and Miss Kayla J as their special guest on plenty of different streams.
Kayla J.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love Kayla J. Melba, where can they
Yeah.
find you, madame?
If you're wanting to follow Melball, you can follow her on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can follow her on everything else: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. You can also find me on our local establishments programming Paramindful every couple of weeks. We just we just dropped an EVP about some really big freaking snake. You want to go over and hear that, the sultry voice of Alex the werewolf. You can also catch me on Astro Pizarro's YouTube channel with our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase. We just dropped an episode last week, and it was a long one. It was a real long one. We had a lot of stuff to talk about, so you want to go over there and have a listen. We talked about so many different topics, can't even get into all of them. That also being said, if you're wanting to watch Stardom, we will leave a link in the channel description. It is stardom-world.com. It's approximately 999 yen, or approximately $10 Canadian. Shout out Sean Spears. Shout out Sean Spears. Screw year 7. It's actually approximately $7.30 Canadian right now because of our dollar, which is still an amazing price to watch some incredible wrestling. You can watch some of the most recent shows as well as some of the, go back in that vault, see some of familiar faces from AEW and WWE today. That being said, Andre, do you have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
Just want to thank all you guys for tuning in. Please keep tuning in. We love hearing and then commenting. We love hearing from you. So please comment down below, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you get alerted every other time we drop a video.
Ding dong.
Hello. Shout out to Bailey.
And that being said, I am your mama. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time. Mwah!